Greetings, I'm Robin Sweet Ransom, and so welcome back to our next installment of scriptures that make you go, hmm, I have an interesting one that perhaps you may not have heard of before. And that is the story of the earthquake that rocked the dead to life. What? Yes, it actually happened. It's not science fiction. It really happened. Well, when? Okay, I'll take you there. So travel with me back in time to Matthew chapter 27, verses 50 through 53. And it says here, when Jesus had cried out again in a loud voice, he gave up his spirit. At that moment, the curtain of the temple was torn in two from top to bottom. The earth shook, the rocks split, and the tombs broke open. The bodies of many holy people who had died were raised to life. They came out of the tombs after Jesus' resurrection and went into the holy city and appeared to many. What? Yes, Jesus' death was so cataclysmic for the earth that there was an earthquake and that there were a few people who were buried in their tombs who were raised to life again. And they went and showed themselves to people in the holy city in Jerusalem and even showed themselves to priests as well. But the Bible is silent on who these people were, as well as silent as to where they went after that. Did they to continue to live on earth and then die again? Or did they go on and follow Jesus to heaven? What really happened? We will not know now because it's not in the word. And in all my research, I haven't heard anyone really put much conjecture behind what they think happened. So that's why I go, just open to your own thoughts on an imagination as to what you thought happened. And then there's other scriptures that have to do with Jesus's death and what happened when he died. It says here in 1 Peter 3:18 through 20, for Christ also suffered once for sins, the righteous for the unrighteous, to bring you to God. He was put to death in the body, but made alive in the spirit. After being made alive, he went and made proclamation to the imprisoned spirits, to those who were disobedient long ago, when God waited patiently in the days of Noah while the ark was being built. In it, only a few people, eight in all, were saved through water. It's interesting that it shows that once Jesus died, he went and made proclamation to imprisoned spirits. Are we talking about humans? Are we talking about demons? Or what are we talking about? Well, it could seem to infer that we're talking about demons because there's another scripture that says that God put these disobedient angels who took on human flesh back in Noah's day, that he put them in a place called Tartarus, which is a place of suffering, for them. And what you could say that it could refer to those who were disobedient, who lived during Noah's time and died, and how he went and preached to them. I don't know. It just makes you go, hmm. But it's interesting to note that some activity took place with Jesus even after he died. And in 1 Corinthians 15:51 through 53, it talks about what will happen to others who die. It says here, listen, I tell you a mystery. We will not all sleep, meaning we may not all die, but we will all be changed in a flash, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trumpet. For the trumpet will sound, and the dead will be raised imperishable, and we will be changed. For the perishable must clothe itself with the imperishable, and the mortal with immortality. When the perishable has been clothed with the imperishable, and the mortal with immortality, then the saying that is written will come true. Death has been swallowed up in victory. And there's some who refer to this as being the rapture, when those who have died will, their spirits will take on flesh again, and then we'll all be reunited again. And those who haven't died at the last days will just be caught up in the air and be with Christ. So interesting. What does all of this mean? This earthquake that rocked the dead to life. Does it have any importance for us today? Well, we know that these unknown saints, unnamed saints, whoever they were recognized by some. So that would mean that they died more recently than ages ago. They weren't people who died back during Noah's day. We're helped to appreciate from the scriptures that we reviewed here that Jesus came to set the captives free. Right? So maybe when he died, he set these few saints free to prove that there is life after death. Belief in Jesus will get you everlasting life. And we know that they showed themselves to priests. And we also, it is affirmed that Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. We need to come through him, not only to be saved, but to have take on immortality in the near future. And then we'd be resurrected to heaven in our glorified bodies. But not all of us will die. I hope to be one of those persons who are hoping to catch the rapture and not to die. And so, again, we know that there will be a future time when there's going to be a mass opening of the tombs and people will be resurrected. And when I said that not everyone will experience it, not everyone will experience death, but we will all be changed. Those of us who have put our hope in Jesus Christ, yet no one knows the day or the hour. We don't know when this is going to take place, but we know it is yet future. And so, therefore, we're encouraged to stay on high alert so that when the trumpet sounds, when Jesus returns, that we'll all be ready to take flight with Jesus. All right, that's it for now. Join us next time for another installment of scriptures that make you go, hmm.